Greetings, friends, and welcome to the Samhain Animatronic System. And what you're seeing before you is the very first animatronic that I have designed using my new modular system of animatronic pieces. It's been a concern of mine for many years that I wanted to get into animatronics more, and I wanted to offer more videos where I'm saying, I am building animatronics. But the issue is if I did it, most of the time it was going to be ad hoc pieces, like I'm going to be cutting specific pieces of metal. I decided to go in a different direction of what happens if I 3D print, design and 3D print an entire animatronic system that uses pre-designed components that you will just print and put together to guarantee the same outcome. And that's exactly what this is all about. So we're going to get right into it. I'm just going to unplug this and we're going to get talking. So now you want to get into building these things. And the whole system is 100% set up to be modular. So you build it to what you need using the components that I have designed, or if later on other people have designed, that allows it to all clip together. So like you can see here, this is this 3-inch shaft. So when I design this, all I'll do is I'll put up a plan saying 3-inch engine mount, hinge mount, 6-inch beam. I think that's a 6-inch beam. Yeah, 6-inch beam. And then up here will be a 1/4-inch shaft to beam connection. All these things will be labeled, so you'll be able to just go in and go, okay, I need this piece, this piece, this piece. You'll print them out because the files will be available, and you'll be able to make this exact thing. So I built this as a clipping system. So what happens, you can see how that comes out. So the base beam has just got a hole in it, and then all of the pieces that you need to develop the actual component you need clips in onto that system. Now you can see here, this is an M2 round-headed bolt. I built the whole system around using pretty much M2 bolts, and on Amazon you can find a kit like this for really cheap that includes all these it's an M3. It's an M3 bolt. So you can go through and you can get all of these bolts to finish these things up to make this thing into a full running system. And at that point, once everything's printed, it's just a matter of assembly. You'll take this, you'll put this all together. Now you can see here, we have an opening here. And when you print this out, you'll have this little tiny pin. What that is for is it allows you to take your bearings, which I'll be listing below, which is kind of a standard. I'm in my design so far, I've only ended up using 2 different bearing sizes. This is actually kind of tough to do. One second here. Everything is friction fit, so it's tight. So I usually carry a cute little small hammer, which I use to pop in those bearings. So now when we're getting to here, we're going to go, okay, we're going to take the connection pin, we're going to push it through, which is built specifically for these exact bearings. You're then going to take it and you're going to press fit it into there. And just like that, it's going in. And now on the back, using an M2 bolt, you're just going to thread this in, because in reality, you don't need to have a threaded insert on this, because all of the load and all of the spinning goes specifically, just 1 second here, I just want to get that bolt in. It goes specifically onto the bearing. So all this does is it just holds it together to make sure you don't have anything popping out. So just like that, you just want to snug it up, and you'll see that the bolt comes out the other side. So in reality now, there's a metal shaft connecting these 2 pieces. But what you see now is you have a beautiful, with clearance, shaft setup. And this is pretty much the exact setup that is on this one. So right off the bat, I'm going to go through and this is kind of an introduction to the system. I might do a specific video on how to build this mechanism 100%, but I wanted to get everybody introduced to what I've been up to. And the brain work that has gone into this has been absolutely mind-boggling. Like, I can't tell you how much this has made my brain hurt, because everything had to be built around components that we can get readily. Like this here was one of my favorite things that I found. These are garden stakes. They're fiberglass and they're black. But what I love about them is that they're light and tensionally they're perfect. They're like, they've got good flex on them and they can be integrated into systems really easily like this. So I have built, once again, you can see how there is the end piece here and then the clip over. Well, the end piece is what you just use, and then the clip over was, once again, one of these bearing openings. So you'll just clip, and you're done. This is what I'm going for. I want to make it so, A, I can show you guys how to do things. B, I'm going to convince you to go buy a 3D printer so you can print these components. And if you ever have one of your animatronics that you have built break, you're not fretting too much because all the components are modular. You can replace them. Everything here is built to be removable and fixable. Like even the motor is only held in by this single M3 bolt. And it keeps it in place. Standard motor. The box here was built in such a way to stop torquing and allow the whole thing to be mounted up beautifully. So when you build this thing, everything can be replaced easily and quickly. These up here are bearinged wheels. And like I said, if this seems kind of chaotic in many cases, it is because there's been so much thought into this that I could ramble on for a week. So once again, this is your house bearing, which is going to be a bit tight for me. There we go. You can see how, once again, this thing goes through. I'm just going to push through the center area. Everything when you print it is going to be tight. So please don't get mad at me if you're going, Salwan, this stuff really is tight to put together. Everything is built to be tight. Now you can see here, on each of these files, you will find all the components to do this. So you'll insert the bearing, you'll insert the top. I'm just going to spin it. There we go. I hammer through the pin to get it through. You put it on. You put the top grommet on. Lovingly negotiated into place. And just like that, you now have a bearinged roller, which is all these. And then they're just held in with a standard drywall screw. So this will allow beautiful flow on a lot of different components. But I wanted to make sure that you could build one of these. So once you've got it, you are ready to go. You print it, you're done. And you can pretty much build to your heart's content. Because once you have these components, the world is your oyster. So anyways, I'm going to end it off here. I wanted to let you know where I'm going. And as time goes along, I'm going to be adding extra things that I've been designing that we all need when we're building. Like this is a universal joint. This is all 3D printed, and this allows motion to transfer at a non-perfect angle. So if you need to have like about a 25-degree angle, this allows you to do it. And it's all based around this rod. So you'll be able to transfer motion from a motor up a large area and then say down an arm because you can use these universal joints to do it. The other thing that I have been working on, which you will see in a later one, this is a fully functioning gimbal. There's a center area here that goes in a 3/4 or a 1-inch pipe down the center. This is a perfect joint for making like a roving skeleton or like a zombie that moves around. This is the smooth joint, and this uses a slightly different bearing, but like I said, I'm trying to stick to only using like 1 or 2 bearings, so you're not ordering a ton. And even then, there's $4 worth of bearings here, and this is a beautiful little system. Anyways, I'm going to call it here because it's one of those things where I could rant all day, but the best thing is to show you what I'm planning and then start breaking it down into individual animatronics. And I might even do some videos where, you know, I'm just doing this. I'm showing you and talking about what's coming up next and all of the bad versions that came before it. Anyways, thanks so much to my patrons, my viewers, my subscribers. I'm nearing 4,000 subscribers and I can't believe it. I hope you will enjoy this set of videos. Don't be intimidated by what I'm doing here. I'm trying to bring animatronics to everybody so they feel comfortable with building these things, fixing these things, and doing everything there is with them in a fun way. Anyways, I hope you all had a good Halloween season, and onwards and upwards. Have a good one all.